Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, a TM Hunt M18 rendition, if you will. A thank you once again to JR for sending some badass, interesting steel to test out rendition. Guys, before we get into it, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now stats are all over the place, number goes up, it goes down, but anything above zero is simply unacceptable. And Bets, all that means is, man, we love you and you have a place here. We're back to blue over here. We support Leo all to the chagrin of many. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law, and when we do, because we have, we accept responsibility for it. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. So here's the deal, guys. This is the TM Hunt M18. And right here, son, you've seen me break the baton 2 or 3 times. Kirk's going to have to come to the rescue. We were out there. It's a good look at Kirk's here. Appreciate him stepping in there, picked out the correct baton, and we continue on. Here's the deal. I have seen this knife. I've never seen one in person. I've seen it online only, and I'm not sure that I've seen a review of it. Could be wrong, probably should. I didn't look it up. I know you aren't shocked. Now, I want to give you some specs real quick. This is 01 tool steel. The overall length is 15.5 or a little better. Blade length's 10 inches. Cutting edge is 9.5. The blade thickness is probably actually in millimeters, because by pulling the tape, it's between 3/16 and 1/4 inch. The handle length is 5.5 and made of canvas micarta. The inner grip is 4, so it will accommodate most hands. Now, here's the deal, guys. Here's where it gets a little different. That recurve portion, or that curved portion nearest the handle, is a hollow grind. The upper portion is convexed. It's a compound grind, but it works. Now, here's the deal. We approached this a little different than most. I didn't pop the trunk. I don't spend a lot of time at the stump cutting different mediums. Basically, what we did with this video is did some real world usage out in the studio. We're getting closer and closer. Now, I did cut some paper and I do cut some rope just to kind of give you an idea of the overall sharpness, okay? The knife came really sharp, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. The spine has rounded edges, so you can use it as a draw knife, which we're going to do. This thing is very, very comfortable in hand. Like I said, that inner grip, you see that inner grip there, it's 4 inches. So it'll accommodate large, extra large hands, and it fits pretty good. Here's something that I was really kind of impressed with, honestly. The Donnie Be All Day drop it test and the Donnie Be All Day throw it at the stump test. It was really, really well balanced, even for a chopper. It's weight forward, of course, because that's what it is. Now, this was made as a one-tool option, and I kind of felt that way as soon as I pulled it out. Some people said, hey, that's a modified tracker. Hey, it's this. So here's the deal, and I'll just be 100% honest with you. This knife's only limitations are probably the skill set of the user, okay? But we didn't approach it that way. We didn't try to show a lot. Listen, I don't do tests. There's nothing that I do that's scientific. Not one damn thing, and don't try to. I try to give you real world use. And to the asshole that was like, real world use to me is combat, you're an idiot. Just thought I'd share that. No, you can't comment, but you're an idiot. Now, moving on. We tried to process up, and that's not real world use. If you think real world use is combat, you're about 12 and a moron at 12. I wasn't that, but anyway, we're going to move on. The knife is straight up badassery, son. Here's the deal. Pleasure to use. Now, I didn't get an overall weight. I'll try to pin that in the comments. But here's the thing. I could see where with, and I'm being honest here, with about a week's usage, take it out, use it a good bit, I could see the skill set growing. It is to me kind of a modified tracker. I will say this. And I'll be dead serious. The control on this knife I found very impressive. You see there, just some quick slashes, some quick cuts. I tried to mix it up. We're going to hit some hard stuff, hard oak and another hardwood, and we're going to do some of our normal cutting. But you can see right here, just making some quick chips, making some quick spear work. It goes pretty quickly. Now right here, you see it gets wicked bites. It really does. Different camera angle, I know. But we were actually, the whole deal was this, and I didn't want to wrench it out of there. But the whole deal was this, guys. What I wanted to do with this is get out, work on the studio some. I'm going to try to do an overnight next Friday. That's the goal. Do an overnight camp next Friday, so there's a lot of work to be done. So we shot the video, yes. We shot a video this morning, check that one out with me and Kirk. It's a really good one that opens some interesting conversations. And we're going to probably do that each weekend as we're out there. But here's the deal. Just putting in some real world usage, and you see there all the vines that drop. Dude, that's just part of Florida. Half the canopy is held up by vines. So you got to deal with that. Is this a good brush clearing tool? I believe so. It handles, it looks like a monster. It really does. It swings like a monster chopper. It really does. But the balance point and the weight in hand really, and that grind makes it conducive for getting rid of some vines, some foliage, some stuff like that. And there I got the lanyard stuck. That was just my bad. How the hell I did that, I don't know. But the vines take over everything. Now right here, we're just going to whittle this tree down, make some room, make some stuff. And basically, guys, here's the deal. We're trying to clean it out. You see a lot of shadows throughout these videos. So one, I'm making a camping area. Two, I'm making a place for doing the demonstrations and things like that. Part of that, too, is just getting rid of some of these wood. Now, these trees that you see, most of these trees start off as weeds. So to my dear tree hugging friends, there's 10 million of them out there. It will be fine. And this is private property. They're coming down anyway. We're saving all of this, though. I'm stacking it all up. We're going to start some bushcrafting, some bushcraft shelters, some different things. We're going to have a lot of stuff going out there. Now, right here again, you see the knife really kind of hammering down. So we're going to do some of these softer woods, get them cut up, let them dry out for when we do fires and things like that. And then we're going to test the edge, test the blade. Now that 01 tool steel is some tough stuff, man. But again, right here, the control. Able to swing it right where I want. It lands right where I want. We had 0 edge damage. I was really impressed with that. We go over to an oak tree that's fallen, still very hard, and I'll show you that in a second, where we just chop on the tree and then chop on another hardwood. Not so much to chop it in two, but just really test the edge. If you're going to spend the kind of money, and this is not a cheap knife, if you're going to spend the money on a tool, I want to make sure, and there's a good look at our edge. Now remember, that curvature there, that recurve, is a hollow grind, okay? That's for fine work, up close work, things like that. The upper edge is convex for chopping and that kind of thing. This part of the wood is still incredibly hard. So what we're going to do, we're not trying to chop it in two. We just put about a minute of hard use, hard chopping. You're going to see some flat smacks, right? We're not always going to take a cutting angle. We're going to cut some, we'll do a chopping angle on some, yes, like right there, real world use. But then we're going to come down with some straight slaps and just check the edge. I'll show you the edge several times throughout this video. It held up insanely well. Overall thoughts on the knife, it's a different beast. It really is. With more time, it could be a really good camping tool, okay? It's a hard use chopper in my opinion, and yes, I know it's got several grinds for several things, but like I said, I wanted to take a different approach to this. You say, Scab, what's different? Well, we're not doing a lot of fine stuff. We're not cutting up a lot of mediums. We're basically just processing a lot of wood, okay? That's what we're doing. We're going to do some draws, and I wanted to demonstrate the sharpness of that tip. Just kind of skinning this here. We're going to do some draw cuts, and we're going to do some different things. Will it hold up in an outdoor adventure? Oh, absolutely. We processed up a ton of wood today, guys. This is just a snippet of 2 or 3 hours out there banging, chopping, moving around. Now, real quick, let me throw out some shout outs. Donnie B all day is a standing one. Joe, Steel Forged and Fire Sword and Knife. Joe's been putting in some work. Really good channel featuring katanas, high-end stuff. Grugsy, Legion Tactical. Grugsy's really coming on with some hard use everyday testing. Pistol Pete, great guy, love his channel. Angry Jackalope, great guy, love his channel. John Heffron, Wingman 115. I want to get John to 50 grand. Let's go over there and get that done. Now, right here, guys, we're going to do some draws and just show you. And let me say this about a draw knife. Obviously, my skill set is not there yet. I'll be the first to admit that. It's learning, and that's why I like doing all these knives, man. Just to give you, if you're new here, here's the deal. This isn't just showing knives. We're not the QVC. Buy it, don't buy it, I don't give a shit. I'm here to show you if the knife works with my limited skill set. What do I mean by that? If the knife looks good, if the knife works, you can tell that it's a good knife. How can you tell that? My skill set's not where it needs to be. I'll be the first to admit that. The other part of my channel is this, challenging myself with a different blade every review. You don't see a whole lot of the same old on this channel. I've got JR to thank for that. I've got Work Tough Gear to thank for that. I've got Rosecraft, and I've got all kind of guys to thank for that. Joe Bedrow, JB Outdoors, has introduced me to some guys that you're going to see. So I'm thankful for a bunch of different style knives to try. But in doing so, it's challenging, and I enjoy the challenge. Here, this is a piece of hardwood. Y'all have seen me cut it several times at the studio. Again, how does the knife perform? Well, it's comfortable in hand, and I'm going to be honest, the camera angle here makes it look a lot closer than it was. I was safe at all times doing the chopping, although Kirk did warn me several times not to cut my hand off, which, thank you, Kirk, I really appreciate that. Guys, we got 30 seconds left. Would I take this knife? Yes, I would take it, but I would take it from a learning standpoint. It's a hell of a chopper. I would have to really build up my skill set. Now, here we're going to cut some rope. The handle is comfortable. I found no hot spots. It's ample. I love micarta. The blade is tough. The heat treat seems to be spot on. We got no rolling, edging, chipping, nothing like that. It held up very well. Again, I'm Scab. You're not. Hey, I'm gone, son.